No, well, my music wasn't ready. Oh, there we go. Okay, we'll try that again. Ready?
Put that long day behind you. Good times lie ahead. With company worth keeping, then I'll bash a smile on your head. Come on in, the door's open. You'll find just the finest folks here. Pull up a chair, grab a drink, and lend our stories your ear. Cause we're the talk at the tavern. Here you're always welcome. The talk at the tavern. Promising beer and bedlam. The talk at the tavern. Music, medicine, then some. The talk at the tavern. The song's over. Here we come.
Well, welcome to Monday, May 11th. Oh, wait, I gotta turn
Warlord
that thing off.
squabble over small patches of...
Okay. It's gonna be one of those fun technical nights. Oh, look at Chris being all subscribey and stuff. You're not even a wobbly eggplant.
Yeah.
Well, here's your face, man. Thank you. Let's do introduction.
Cavalon has subscribed for 20 months in a row. 20 total. Yay.
Huh?
Sorry, Cogsley was talking about Chris. Cogsley basically reads it off, and when he does subscribing stuff, he uses his woman's voice. And he's like, Cavalon has subscribed for 20 months. And then it enthusiastically typed what Chris typed. Yay.
Cavalon.
Ed, why don't you introduce yourself next?
Hi. I'm drinking Miyomi Rosé. Can't see it. Yeah, it does say rosé right there on that white label. Yeah.
Elizabeth.
Hi, everybody. It's Elizabeth Shetzi, the Pickle Lady. Tonight I shall be drinking wada, and just a touch of beer for the yard work and for some good news today. So
What kind of beer is that?
this is it's a Czech beer. It's a Pilsner Urquell. It's got a really sharp metallic bite. It's really fresh and crisp.
Urkel.
Metallic, but Urquell. Pilsner Urquell.
After drinking, you say, "Did I do that?" Chris?
Why, yes, you can. I got one more in the fridge.
I'm Chris. I am drinking Dogfish Head Sonic Archaeology, which is whiskey, rum, apple brandy, honey, lime, and pomegranate juice all mixed together in a lovely pre-made cocktail that's delicious.
Sounds like
What the fuck do you discover after drinking that?
You're drunk.
I figured somebody was drunk when they discovered it, because you're like, what do you want to drink? Oh, maybe anything. Archaeology.
Huzzah.
And last but not least, the missing link of the show, Andrea.
Without me. Well, tonight is coffee and a loaf of Pepperidge Farm cinnamon raisin swirl bread.
A whole loaf?
Yep. Mm.
Kind of, because I have a problem. It's really good, though, with coffee.
That doesn't look like a problem to me. Looks like a solution.
Oh, yeah. And I have hair trimmers. Oh. And also, today in the mail, I get like a letter from somebody I don't know. I'm like, Pamela, who? And I open it up, and it's like the ex-wife of a buddy that I haven't talked to in a couple years, sending me a picture of a kid I met once when he was 6, saying, hey, he's graduating.
Money.
Good for him.
Oh, that makes sense,
money,
Elizabeth.
money.
That's better. I get it now. Okay. See, I'm like, why are they sending me that ad?
Mm-hmm.
But now that Elizabeth's sang, I'm like, oh, yeah. Hey, Elizabeth and I sang on Twitch Sings.
We did. It was awesome.
And then, like, she wouldn't answer me via text message the next day. I'm like, oh, God, I really fucked up this friendship. Then she did, and she's like, yeah, I'd love to do it again. I'm like, oh, God, she was drunk enough.
I was yard working. I don't have my phone.
Whatever.
Mhm.
Sunday, I just didn't answer your text. I did a little bit, but I'm writing. I can't.
We had 15 people watching the role-playing game last night at one time.
Wow.
Yeah, so it must have been entertaining. It's because, really, if it sucks dick.
I was thoroughly entertained.
Chris,
It was fun.
you were great. You were interacting. And this is why I'm looking forward to your drunken dwarf character over your Warforged, because he is as stiff as he is in personality as he is in body.
Yeah, that's true.
Oh, John, that's right. John said her mom liked the singing because I told John what you said in your text message because I got it as we were standing there in John's shop Saturday. Oh, and thanks to John and Conquest Publishing, I have a third monitor to work with now. So when we do Cards Against Humanity or maps on the game, I've got the ability to do that now with a third monitor. So good times. Ed, how's the past couple weeks since we've seen you been going?
Busy. Had shut down at work, so
Emotionally?
I was at work 12 to 14 hours a day.
Oh, good
But
time.
hey, I got to catch up on Star Wars Clone Wars, so it wasn't all that bad.
I'm watching Discovery right now. Elizabeth, thank you so much. And by the way, let's read the opening toast here, which was from Colin Powell, my brother from, I don't know, some other guy and lady. What did he say? He said something really cool. Oh, there are no secrets to success. It is a result of preparation, hard work, and learning from failure. And that is the goddamn truth. No matter what you think of Colin. Because some people think he's the shit. Like he's never heard that joke. I know.
But
I like this.
Delicious.
I should put some.
Hey, I watched The Mandalorian this weekend.
What do you think?
good for you.
I did. It's better than the movies. It's better than the movies. I liked Last Jedi. I thought it was fun, and a couple, but it just felt more Star Wars-ish.
You see what I mean?
It is a TV show, so it suffers a little from campy and having
Sure.
to wrap up real quick in every episode, and that's okay. But it is so much better than the movies, and it's just dangerous and tough. And I see why Baby Yoda, everyone loves him.
Mm-hmm.
And I loved Bill Burr as the assassin. That was great.
Yeah.
It's neat. It's fun. So thank you. It's fantastic. I love it.
This is what I'm talking about with Picard and Mandalorian. Maybe this is a turn in our storytelling style of our entertainment, at least for the next 10, 15 years. And that'd be nice to see. And Discovery.
Go ahead.
I'm sorry, Elizabeth. Go ahead.
No, I got excited. No, it's okay. I went my turn.
She's so excited.
I am. And I saw Extraction with Chris Hemsworth.
How was it?
3 minutes in, and I was, Saturday, so in my wine. I immediately tweeted that I have new heroes, that the cinematographer, the camera crew is amazing. It is an amazingly shot piece, and you gotta check it out. It's very violent. Well, they must have killed hundreds of
Thank you, Ed.
people. It's fantastic, though. It's fantastic. Check it out.
By the way,
Elizabeth, did you watch any of the little, I think it's like the Disney Gallery Star Wars, The Mandalorian, where they're doing like little behind the scenes, like
No, I didn't.
interviews?
I will. I want to. So I will. I absolutely will check that out. I did watch about a Navy diver working at Disneyland behind the scenes. And then I watched last night. Oh, I'm so tired. All I did was watch stuff this weekend. Right and wrong. Watch. I watched Frozen 2.
mediocre, right?
They certainly let it go.
Yeah. It's,
Did you?
if I may, guys, I want to say hello to everybody who if I neglected to do so in chat. Kennedy, good to see you. Saw your comments about the beer.
Yeah,
I'm
dude.
sure the beer drinkers on the show were watching and responding to that in chat. Toei, good to see you. John of Conquest Publishing. And don't forget, guys, if you're a streamer coming here to hang out with me, please, please, please type !ME as Elizabeth is just about to show you what happens when you do that. Thank you. Oh, that's Bits. And there's her self-promotion. So guys, please feel free to do that. If you come around here and you chit-chat with me, or I go around your place, chit-chat with you, do that shit. Ed, you've watched...
Frozen. The story is lame. It's
Oh.
okay. It works. It works. It works in script form. It works. It's boring. I found myself, who love musicals, going, oh god, another song. But visually stunning. The artistry is amazing. You can see the weave on Elsa's dress, how they loomed it, and then it looks like the jewels are sewed on. I mean, it's unbelievable what they're doing with water and visually check it out. That's all I gotta say.
Very good. Ed,
Well done. Bravo, artist. Bravo.
where's my bell? I'm gonna fucking ring the bell here.
Yes.
No. You watched Star Trek Discovery, right?
Yeah.
I have watched 4 episodes so far.
Mm-hmm.
And again, I have to say, it's a refreshing storytelling style. In that it's not the same warmed over plot. And spoilers here for anybody who hasn't seen it. In the first 3 episodes, you have like Starfleet's most promising, a human raised in Vulcan society, who then mutinies on her captains for all the right on her captain for all the right reasons, creates a interstellar war, and is put life in prison within the first couple episodes. And that is just an interesting story arc compared to anything they've done before. And by episode 4, she's actually on a Black Ops ship, as she was basically taken from her prison by powers that be and manipulated to be on this ship. So, yeah, interesting. And Ed, I believe it was you that said it gets better as you go. So was it you?
Yeah.
Okay.
Whoa.
Yeah, I'm on episode 3 myself, so.
Season 1, I thought was incredible. Season 2, I'm waiting for season 3.
Okay. Yeah, and season 3 it's on the menu. It's coming. It's just I don't know when. And Ed, yeah, they turned too much away from this. And I understand the whole. Here's this character, let's shake it up, let's do something different. But then if they take it too far away from that, or bang that drum too many times, it's going to be like, okay. So I may end up agreeing with you there. Okay. Anybody else have anything interesting that went on in the past week or so? There's bits for
I
Andrea.
read something today.
You got what?
Huh? I read something today. Little Richard died.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep.
I
Good
did
balance,
not
Bob.
realize that he sung the Magic School Bus theme until yesterday.
Mm.
Do you want to sing a little bit of that?
Nope.
Ed, you're a pretty good singer. You want to do Twitch Sings with Elizabeth and I someday?
Oh, no, thank you.
But you got a beautiful voice, man. Makes me wet in my panties.
You're flirting with me.
Yeah. That's my segue. Can you feel it? Tonight's topic is Flirting 101.
Just don't get stuck going in circles.
Oh. That is my flirting style, Chris. Jerry Stiller passed also, says Kennedy. Okay. Yeah, we'll raise a glass to Little Stiller. Ask the two of them if they had a baby. Okay. So, yeah, Flirting 101. From the awkward to the awesome, there are many ways to approach somebody you're interested in and get their attention. Or, in my case, just to say stupid shit that people accept without expectation. So, I guess we could just turn the show over to Ed and let him lead the show at this point. Look at Ed. He's like,
I don't know anything about it.
This is just natural for him.
Who's his party Ed was at for work once? I know a story. Hold on, trying to.
Feel better?
Oh, you know what else I could tell people
I feel
about?
really good in a second here.
What's that, bro?
Before we get rolling on the topic, I will remind everybody who's watching us live, you can catch us on our podcast on Spotify, iHeartRadio, and a half dozen to dozen other podcasting services. For those of you listening via podcast, don't forget you could join us live and interact with us via streaming chat at twitch.tv/Travis Tavern Talk. There we go. 18 minutes in and finally...
I got
What?
I got one more.
What?
Okay, remember I mentioned to you, Travis, but I don't know if the other crew knew it. I remember my kitty was sick, and we took him to the vet, and it's diabetes. So now we have to put him on a regimen of insulin and food.
Oh no.
And it's expensive. So,
Okay.
but he's a lot happier now,
Yeah.
and it's good for he's got the right kind, and if we can get him to lose weight, he'll feel better. So no cookies, no beer.
But he's also
Cookie.
11, you said, right? Or 14?
I think he's coming up 16.
It's,
Wow.
Oh, sorry.
He's a big boy.
That was an accident.
Big old. You okay? Did you ring the bell?
I reached for my cigar and hit the bell. It's just instinctual. What did Elizabeth say? Oh, it doesn't matter.
I'm gonna get my own bell so I can get all pissed off. I hear you ringing it. Ding ding. What are you working on, NJ?
Blanket.
Whoa.
Yeah, I bought this, so. Eventually.
I bought a 3D printer. That's my exciting thing to happen in the last week. I got a little drunk on Friday night and bought a 3D printer.
How big is it,
Are you
mister?
printing stuff?
It'll do 9 inches cube.
Oh, okay. You can just about print me.
Half of you.
Have you printed yet?
No, it's not here yet. It's supposed to take, 3 to 7 business days to ship. I ordered it late Friday night. So assuming it ships today, could be anywhere between Wednesday and,
Next year.
3 months later.
right.
I
With
should
the state of the world right now, who knows how long it's going to take to get here.
I should bring Andrea the bell so she can use it when she has something to say. And this is why we have to get her that microphone, because right now she has a stable microphone, which means she can't move it closer to her. So when she leans back comfortable, we can't hear her. But if I give her the bell, she can read comments from people, as well as actually, say, like, use it to so she... Oh, there we go. Talking Toey says, my funny news, I got an economic injury disaster loan from the government.
Oh.
Economic
That's
injury
cool.
disaster loan.
Is it funny because you didn't apply for it?
Oh.
I was born! No.
The government's just wandering around pushing money on people. You will take it, and you will pay it back.
It's like the stimulus checks. You will take this and you will spend it. Well, okay.
And you will be stimulated.
You gotta buy the right kind of thing for that.
Chris, what's the first thing you're gonna print? What are you 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 gonna print?
I don't know. I'm starting a list of things. A lot of them are random figurines and things that I can then paint. There's a new Star Wars droid from the latest Star Wars game that I will probably print a full-sized model of and paint and assemble.
I love it because it's your precious. Is that the RD1 that you sent me?
BD1, yeah.
BD1. He's so cute. And Jerry would like him.
Yeah.
Like my puppy.
You should, Travis. We're suffering economically.
Sure the hell are. Have been for 8 years now. So,
Home all alone, miserable, no one to talk to you, and you're broke. Sounds like a writer to me.
should we actually talk about the topic sometime? Or should we just have one of these shows and do Flirting 101? I could just change the title right now. I just checking. I don't
I
care.
don't know
What
what you
boss?
should do, but I can tell you what not to do.
Okay, check.
Tell us what not to
Andrea,
do.
check your mic for me real quick, because you sound very far from it.
I don't know when it.
Neither do we. It sounds like it's in the bathroom across the hall.
Is my big?
Huh? Just tap it or...
What?
Okay,
It
guys.
doesn't say.
Rub whatever mic
Can you hear me?
Yes. Are you
Rub it.
rubbing any of your mics?
I don't know. I don't know.
That's it. That's your mic.
Is
So-
it?
Yeah.
Uh-huh.
So make sure you
Okay.
talk towards
Oh,
it.
there it is.
Okay. Mhm.
Look at that pretty face.
Andrea was going to give us an example of what not to do.
Well, and I'm shopping, minding my own business, trying to get the hell out of there. Guy comes up to me. He's like, looking for a woman to put in my basket to take home and cook for me. I'm like, well, it's not in this aisle, and I walked away. What makes you think that line would work?
I think this is a great way to start. This guy went from 0 to get in my basement in 3 seconds flat.
But did he look at your butt as you walked away?
Probably.
Her butt was very
Okay.
good that day.
Oh, those are those jeans.
Let me tell you, it's because I went to stitchfix.com and I had gotten this pair of jeans and I put it on and I was so happy, so I couldn't wait to wear it the next day. Yeah, it was those jeans. I blame the jeans.
They worked.
So let's start with this story here. If you're gonna flirt, Ed saying that to Andrea if he ran across her in the store would be awesome because they know each other. When you first meet somebody, to approach them and
Yeah,
flirt,
I'm taking notes. Hang on. Go ahead.
when first she doesn't write very fast, guys.
It's not like she's a writer or anything.
Okay, go ahead.
You better get Pickle Man over there to help. Slow down, guys. Slow down.
Pickle Man in court taking notes. Fabulous idea.
He's just a stenographer, the court transcriptionist.
Oh my! Oh my!
No, you didn't.
I declare.
Sorry, Travis. Go on.
I now feel
Distraction.
a show coming on of that Pickle and Pickle Man together.
Oh God.
I'm just saying,
Maybe.
when you first run across somebody and first meet somebody, there's Bob. Hey girl, did it hurt? When you hurtled up through the ground from hell? See, that is that is a better pickup line than the whole, angel falling from heaven thing. Because I haven't heard that one.
Is this Bob?
No, this is Bobicus. This is not Ed's friend Bob.
Oh,
This is not our Bob.
Are you sure?
Pretty sure. It'd be nice if it was the other Bob.
Sounds like her.
Hey girl, are you like my coffee? Because I like you. See, I think
because I'm cold and without milk and not sweet at all.
I'm bitter.
That's
Wait, that kind of hurt. I kind of hurt myself.
Oh,
Travis, we were talking about flirting.
I got the format now. I say half a sentence and we have 3 minutes of jokes and tangents. I finish the
Chaos.
sentence. I am the brackets of your
that's
show
Flirt.
tonight. It can be, yeah.
yeah.
I'm just saying a great way to approach somebody initially is don't act like you know them right away. You got to feel them out. And there's things you can say to somebody you just met that if said right, they don't know if you're flirting or not. And for me, I think that's a great way to flirt, where you say something innocent but really dirty, depending how well that person knows you. This also helps if they're smart, they get it. If they're dumb, it goes right over their head, and that means you get laid later that night if they don't get it. Yeah, usually if they don't get the flirting, they'll get something else later. That is so generalized and sexist. I'm just saying you could screw the dumb people. Just spell it out for the dumb people.
Dumb, young. I like how you feel them out first. I thought that's what we were trying to get to, but maybe I moved too slow. I guess. I'm just feeling what I got here. What do we got here?
You don't mind if I squeeze your boobs, do you? Because I want to know if it's okay to flirt later.
So what's the best line you use at work?
None.
And what's your work line? None?
None. Yeah, what Charles was saying, when you first meet somebody, don't use a line. Don't use a line, because
Or, like what...
flirting must be natural and it must be somewhat truthful.
Yeah. No.
Well, even if you didn't just meet, what's a line you used later that worked?
Hey, want to do it?
Not bad.
Was a blowjob out of the question?
It's a trap. It rubs the lotion on its skin.
No.
Ed, here's what I'll say about using a line when you don't know them. Or if you use a line like the couple that Bobakis posted right there, that are so utterly ridiculous and such a lame, strained line, at that point in time, it's gone far enough to loop back around and be charming.
Oh, sure. You can't be afraid to make a fool out of yourself.
No. And I think flirting, nothing. The two keys to flirting is confidence and comedy.
Mm-hmm.
And that comedy doesn't necessarily have to be, I mean, knock knock. Who's there? My penis. Penis who? My mom loved that joke every time I told it to her. She's single, guys. She's also dead, but that means she's thin.
Really single.
No, you're supposed to go. Who's there? It's my penis.
My penis who?
You get it? Knock,
Well,
knock, knock.
I mean, if I was tall enough to knock on the ceiling, I could do that. But
From what I hear.
If you're sitting across a dinner table, that would work. Of course, Grandma gets really upset when she's slicing the turkey, and you're like,
Dirty.
"Hey, Grandma."
I like it when I've been flirted with. I like it when I get approached and someone says something about me, something they like wow, you have beautiful hair, or I love your eyes, or you're very sexy. That's fabulous. That's kind of straight and to the point, to the point. Sorry.
So, Elizabeth, let me see if this line will work. Chris, you just need to leave that constantly available. So let's see if this, hey, I'm Travis, and I couldn't help but notice. You look like you could afford to pay for a round of drinks for us. Is that a good
Yeah.
observation? No, that's not a good
No.
one.
You will get a result from that.
Well, actually, if you're going to use that line, the next thing that should happen is you set or have the waiter come up behind you and deliver what the person you were talking to their drink. So if you immediately hand them a drink after saying that, you're in the clear. You're going to be okay. It's when you walk away and going, cover that tab, will you, that they're going to chase your ass down.
You buy them a drink, and then after they drink it, you say, and you can barely taste the drug, can you?
And then you say, I know I couldn't, and fall over onto the floor.
Kennedy
home.
says, I'd like to see your pickle.
Ah, very nice.
Chris's pickle or Elizabeth's pickle?
Take your pick.
Wait, was that a flirt or was that actually a request? Because they both have a pickle they can whip out any second now.
They both work.
It's okay. My pickle's blurred. Oh God. Oh God.
That is a creepy. That's a
It's
cripple. No, that's a
pickle-lated.
Pickle. Crickle.
It's pickle-lated.
Take your pickle.
See, for me,
I often get in trouble for flirting when I'm not actually flirting. I'm just chatting with someone and genuinely interested in the individual, going, wow, I know nothing about this thing that you do. Tell me more. And people are like, why are you flirting with my girl? I'm like, I'm just asking, I'm being nice and genuinely interested in the person that's sitting here.
There's your problem.
All the time.
Like,
you can't be interested in people. Everyone thinks everyone's trying to screw each other. You just can't be interested. Like, wow, that was really, okay. Tell me more.
A genuine interest in being nice has, turned into you can only be flirting. Like, you're only flirting to, you're only nice when you're flirting to try and get into someone's pants. It's like, no.
See, something go ahead, Andrew.
I'm nice to people.
Mm-hmm.
I was gonna say I'm nice to people, and they take it as I want them. No, I'm just being nice and doing my job.
Just busted my bubble.
So when you're at work, if you talk to customers, people think you're flirting?
Yeah, a lot of times,
when you're doing your job. Okay.
This is why we make the jokes about her wearing her good flannel that day. Something I've said about flirting. For me, flirting is not about catching somebody's interest, especially in a sexual or romantic way. It's about having fun with words, which is why I will do what people call flirting with any one of these people on my screen in front of me. Ed, Andrea, Elizabeth, Chris. I will say
bingo.
Essentially the same line tailored to that specific person because I just want to play with words. Because I've always been the cautious type that if anybody would come home with me to have sex the very first night I meet them, I don't want that person to have my fucking address because they crazy. Cheesy, how are you? Good to see you. Damn flirting. Damn it to hell. It's,
Yeah, I agree with what you said. I have a reputation in... Well, my wife will confirm this. I have a reputation of being a flirt, and I'm not trying to flirt. I'm trying to make people feel good about themselves. Man or woman, I'm just trying to make people feel good about themselves. And it's like, you're flirting. Well, sometimes I am, but you figure it out when I am and when I'm not.
Oh, you can't tell me that shit, because that's something else. I told this to Andrea when we first met. I'm like, if you ever actually have genuine interest in me, you better get a baseball bat and a neon sign because I ain't figuring shit out till you do that. I'm just playing with words. And thank you, Cheesy. Appreciate that. It's
nice set, Travis.
Well, thank you. This is probably one that I've had longer than Andrea and my kid had been alive. I had this for like 25 plus years. What, Andrea?
That's a long time.
It is. Cheesy says being nice and flirting can be misunderstood. Absolutely, Cheesy, and that's a bit what we're talking about.
Yeah.
And not only to the opposite gender, Cheesy, but to your own gender.
Not so much anymore.
Your own gender. Yeah.
And this is actually something I'm very pleased with the LGBTQIA plus movement, because now, hopefully, if I say something flirty to Chris or Ed or another guy, it's now acceptable. Not because I want to sleep with them, but because I can say that stupid shit to guys as well as girls now. Because nobody said that's gay. I just clarified I like to flirt with everybody because it's fun with words. So that's all I'm saying.
There's something wrong with being gay? What's wrong with being gay?
It's
something
hard
wrong with being happy?
It's actually, Cheesy. I'll
That's
say it.
Bob.
You think so? That could be. Yeah, it could be. Everybody's gonna be Bob. We're missing Bob.
We're missing
I
Bob.
think, for me, I've said in the past, are you flirting with me? And I've had people say, oh, no. And then I've had people say, yeah. And either that gives me the opportunity to say, okay, now we know we're on the same footing, or to not. And I like that. I say, oh, or they'll say, maybe.
Maybe.
What
That
answer would make
depends.
you happy?
So is it
And
insult?
they're like, hello.
Is it good or bad if somebody asks me that and I'm like, absolutely, as long as we don't have to have sex afterwards?
Oh, well, then,
That's usually knocking
Maybe.
it down a few pegs. That's just not good. And by the way, Cheesy to Ginger. Good to see you.
Hey, what's up?
Teachers here just subscribed.
Okay, I'm going to read a couple comments.
Legend
To
has
Ginger
it,
subscribes
Travis'
says, legend
mustache
has
a
it,
bad
Travis's
habit of
mustache has a bad habit of flirting with guys and blaming it on Travis. And Cheesy clarified their statement, said some guys will assume some compliments from other guys as being gay. Yeah, and they will. And this is why I'm happy as the world is changing, because I can actually say something nice to a guy and it's not taken as, hey, want to hear this guac noise in the back room? Okay, Cheesy, I got you. Where are you coming from? Yeah, it's and here's something fun I do. If you give me a long neck beer bottle or a pickle in a restaurant and put somebody across from me who's a bit nervous about their sexuality, a guy across from me, when everybody else looks away, I will deep throat that bottle or pickle while staring them straight in the eye. And then when they start to freak out, I will withdraw that from my mouth and look around like, what? What'd you just see?
Hey, Travis, after the show, call me.
Now, do you keep the beer bottle there, laying back, no hands, and just drink it all down?
No.
That's a keeper.
No, because I don't want them to see the white stuff come out of my nose like we used to do with my uncle. Anyhow.
Pour it down, babe. Pour it down. It helps if Andrea pushes her head down.
Oh, no. He does it to himself. He will grab the back of his head and everything. It's a show.
Yeah, the second time I do it, when everybody's watching, I'm just like, I don't do that kind of stuff. It's the real trick is when the bottle cap is still on and I unscrew it in the back of my throat.
Okay.
The real trick is when I have a Jewish guy and I circumcise him with... Anyhow.
With the bottle cap left.
I'm at the recycle center going, hold on. Ding, 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 ding.
Like the cat.
Like a slot machine. Pull my lever. Nukem Cola. Ding. Really, it's somebody else's turn to say something at this point. Anything.
Something.
These are the looks I get when I flirt. I'm very familiar with these looks.
I'm like Chris. I've been accused of flirting. And I'm like dealing with a customer or just chatting. I really don't like it when married men flirt with me and they don't tell me they're married, and they lead you on as if there's a chance for a date to happen, and then you find out they're married. I think that there should be public flogging for that. That's not fair.
Not
It's
this
Oh
kind
no,
of
I'll tell you I'm married and still flirt
Yeah.
with you.
with
Yeah,
Teresa
that's
on his
fine,
arm.
and that's then that gives me the opening to say, okay, this we're not really getting serious, and then we can just have fun. But to lead someone on, and when you're married, that's wrong. Look, you want to commit a sin and be an adulterer, that's fine. Don't bring it here.
I can agree with you on that, Elizabeth. And I think this is why I want to see flirting be acceptable on all levels as witty instead of trying to get laid. This is because, Elizabeth, I will flirt with you all night long. I have done it. I've done it with Andrea there. I've gone back and told Andrea about it. We've done it while shooting people in the head together. What, Andrea?
Yeah, but I'm hoping with you, Andrea.
Can I watch?
Baby.
Okay, couple comments, if I may. Cheesy says, sometimes you can feel gay as a straight man. Absolutely. Tejinter says,
Absolutely.
I was working a site and a lady that could not have been a second younger than 80 came up and asked me if I wanted to see her, quote, deep throat a pool cue.
Yes. Yes, please say yes.
Cheesy says, looking at Pietro Boselli kind of makes me gay a bit. I think we all have people like that where I don't necessarily want to have sex with them. I just want to stare at them for a few minutes because, oh my God, that is pretty. Male
No,
or female? No?
no,
No?
no. I used to work with a guy that used to do the glare. No.
No,
No.
not the glare. For example, when I'm at a convention, I see somebody in a really good cosplay, or even there's times at work, somebody will walk up and they're covered with tattoos, and I'm like, can I just look at your ink for a minute? And it's that kind of thing. They have something about them that is worth taking a moment to appreciate. Now, at work, of course, it's very touchy, but let's see. Kennedy says, so far I think we've established the entire crew are flirts. Gary says, yo, hello, friend. Sorry I'm late. Had a weird day. John wants to film it. And Kennedy says, all I have to do to get flogged is flirt with women. That'll save me some cash. Hey! Yeah.
I did get caught staring once, and it turned into an awesome flirt.
Tell me.
I was in a grocery store. A lady in yoga pants was bent over, and I just couldn't help myself. And she busted me, and she's like, something in your eye? And I was like, no, it's just really bright in here. And she's like, are you telling me my ass is as bright as the sun? And I was like, I've got nothing. Okay, you busted me. I'm caught. I was looking at your ass. I admit it. It looked really, really good. And yes, I had a fantasy or two. I don't know what to say now. And it was a good laugh. She enjoyed it. She's like, that was cute. If I wasn't married, I'd take you home with me.
Because I got a base and lotion.
Did she want to put you in the basket so you can go home and cook for her?
Ed cooks good, too.
I do.
Ed can cook, yeah.
I know.
Yeah.
To
Even
Ginger.
naked.
To Ginger says, my response... Okay.
At least it wasn't. Okay. I had another incident at work. Now, gained a little bit of weight because Travis cooks and I eat. Well, the side's like, you gained a whole lot of weight. You're really big, but it's okay. I'm like, well, what the hell is that? That's not a way to flirt with anybody either. I'm just saying.
There is a style of
I
flirting.
like big butts and I cannot lie. It's something I can't do.
Pretty much. I mean, I know I got a big ass now, but geez.
Well, you could have said the same thing going, wow,
Really?
you have added some curves and I am loving it. You could say something
You're
like
fabulous.
that, I guess. It's
Yeah, but that's not. I mean, either way, it wasn't appropriate.
No. Of course not.
yeah, so, that's something else. If you're going to flirt with somebody who is working at a place you walked into, be very courteous and considerate because they're not allowed to run away from you. They can get fired for going, excuse me, what did you just say? Because now it's bad customer service. And Andrea, who's been approached by some very creepy guys and then reports it, gets like put in her place for it by management. Or at most, the manager says, we'll have somebody else help him. And that's all that's done. As opposed to, no, that was like, I want escorted to my car after dark level flirt. Because I don't want to be in the parking lot alone if that person's out there.
I just put a link for Andrea. It's a pussy rolling pin.
Oh.
It's in the chat.
Does it make vagina-shaped biscuits? Oh, wrong kind. Never mind.
Oh my god, that's so cool. I want one.
Isn't that
Oh.
cool?
Oh,
Isn't
you know
that
what?
cute?
Let me ask. Does anybody know who was kind and awesome enough to send Andrea a huge bag of paprika chips? Because she doesn't know who to thank. I see a dance.
Was it you?
Yeah, of course that was me. Happy birthday.
Oh my god, and I went on the website and I'm like, oh, they have all these different, they have like a variety pack thing. And
Yeah. Did you eat them already?
they're
Yeah.
not all of them, I'm rationing.
Yeah, I know. I wish I could have gotten you more, but it was, I ordered them a long time ago.
It's
Well, I looked at it and I'm like, oh my goodness, the shipping.
I know. But, it got expensive around because of everything going on right now, but you're worth it. You're worth it.
Elizabeth,
They are awesome.
have you had paprika chips?
Oh, yeah.
Okay, good. They're worth
They're very yummy.
trying, and we'd like to see.
Oh.
If I can read a couple comments here, because we have a very active chat here. I definitely want to encourage that with this kind of topic. To the woman who flirted with the pole cue, said, my response was, please put your teeth back in. And then he says, look, I have to be professional. Then he mentioned the ass Ed saw is the star, and apparently me saying I have an empty basement is creepy. Whatever. Cheesy asked, would you smash a Prime Minister of Canada? Which Kennedy says, Trudeau's a handsome man. And Jinter says, I have zero tolerance policy at the work site. If you make people uncomfortable, you will be pulled aside. But they damn well better make it clear that you're making them uncomfortable. Don't be subtle.
Yeah.
Had that issue last week actually. That's another nice change in our culture. As much as all of us here on the Tavern bitch about people being oversensitive, there are pros to this exaggeration, and that is to Tara, who's on Right Night on Saturday nights, is from Canada, and she said growing up in Canada, she never worried about leaving a bar inebriated and or alone. She always knew she'd get home safe. But in the U.S., that is not the case. And I'd love to see that change. And a lot of that shift will be folks like Tajinter, Ed, Chris, myself, who are like, no. Flirting is great. Creep vibe. If you don't know the difference, don't do either. You know? Apparently they're just
we've had at the theater some problems with high-end donors who donate hundreds of thousands of dollars to the theater.
That means to get a woman, right?
Well, yeah, they were harassing some of our staff, and it was over a couple of months because the staff member was worried about telling management that it was happening, and finally she broke down in the middle of a board meeting after he made some comment to her while they were on a little break. And our management staff was like, what's going on? And they removed him instantly from the board. Okay. And he was told never to walk back into the theater. And if he enters the building, will be removed by police.
Wow.
Yeah. And it was a big loss to our financial income, but the theater is not putting up with that kind of shit.
Now,
so.
Was this just one person's word against another? Or was there supporting evidence?
No, it was this one donor against several people of the development.
That's staff. Very important. Because if one person goes, oh, it could be one person who is dramatic or trying to get attention, and I realize some people might be, well, now you're victim blaming. No, a burden of proof is necessary. Otherwise, it is one person's word against another. Separate them, diffuse the situation, so it can't happen if it was. But once you have multiple people coming out against somebody, well, I think that is an excellent resolution.
I don't think it would have mattered, honestly.
Mm-hmm.
I think they still would have removed the board member regardless. So
Well, that is our current environment. That this kind of thing, especially 2-3 years ago when this all flamed up late in the year. Tajinter says,
yeah,
telling people.
I mean,
Mhm. Go ahead.
there's enough already in the theater and entertainment industry that has come out recently. So, my theater is not taking anyone's shit.
Let me
Zero
give you
tolerance
a
for
hint
anything.
about compliments. If you're going to compliment a woman and you don't want it to feel awkward or whatever, if you couldn't say the same thing to a man standing next to her instead, then it's not a good compliment. Go ahead, Ed. You want me to go on for a minute while you think how to phrase it?
Well, I mean, it's like, okay, hi, Andrea, you really look beautiful tonight. Hi, Travis, you really look beautiful tonight. No.
I feel beautiful.
See, I find I also have to do the post preface of not that you don't look good normally, you just look really nice today.
See, that's awkward flirting, because that goes back to 80s Jewish jokes where, I told my wife she looked beautiful tonight, and she was like, what was wrong with me last night? It's a classic backpedal. But what I'm saying, Ed, is if you're at work and you can't say,
okay.
Don't say, Andrea, you look beautiful today. So, Andrea, you're looking awesome today. Because you could also turn around and say that to any other person in the building without it feeling...
Yeah, but there's a difference between Andrea, you look awesome today, and Travis, you look awesome today.
That is true, too. Tone is super important. Line between being complimentary and being flirty.
And I say that because where I work, I stand at a gate and I wave people in, greet them, hello, good morning, blah, blah, blah. And I'm oftentimes on the phone. I have my earbuds in and I'm talking to my wife while she's driving to work. And they don't know I'm actually talking to her. And she's like, you just waved a woman in, didn't you? Oh, yeah. Because you sound different when you wave a woman in and tell her good morning.
Can she hear the pants unzipping for the helicopter move to wave her in? Come on in, baby. I want to read a couple Tajinter comments here. Telling people that you have friends in the FBI and can get their numbers even if they don't want you to get it. You kind of passed a line. Had a male on female issue, then a male on male harassment. I don't care. No means no. And then he also says, Travis is beautiful. It's the mustache. The mustache is beautiful. Tajinter, I've thought about just getting Google eyes and put it on my mustache. That way I don't have to keep on going, hey, eyes are up here.
I'm just happy Andrea got her chips.
I'm happy I got my chips too.
She shared.
It took almost a month.
She had 3 left in a bag, and she shared them with me.
To your house.
She did post it in Discord, Elizabeth, but nobody seemed to see it and take.
I saw it.
Yeah.
I saw it. It wasn't me.
It wasn't me.
I did it, and I'll do it again.
Flirt.
What do you guys think about gifting as flirting?
What's that?
What?
What do you think of gifting things as flirting? I like how Elizabeth in her headsets leaned her ear closer to her mic to hear me better.
I like how you saw it as that movement, ergo why I did it.
Kind of like turning down the radio to read the road sign.
So, let me turn this down so I can concentrate.
Well, here's the thing. If I see something I think someone might like, I'll get it for them, or I'll give it to them.
Yeah, you
Coming
will.
over.
Come on
try
over. Give
not
it to me.
to do that because people take it the wrong way, and I don't mean it like that. That's where I run into a problem. It's like, oh, I thought you might like this, or I mean it.
I find I have the same problem when I am cutting stones and making jewelry and things, because most guys aren't going to want the pretty shiny necklace that I just happen to be making. And, you know, I'm going to give it to friends because that's what I do. I like to make things and give them to people. I am not expecting anything in return 90% of the time when I am giving someone something. So, you know,
I like what Tajinter says
I have
here.
run into this problem.
Tajinter says, as long as you don't expect something in return, gifts are cool, but if you expect something, it's not a gift. It's a payment that they didn't agree to it. And that's a fair point. Now, here's what else I'm going to tell you. If anybody ever hands anybody a gift, that's a gift. There is no strings attached. Even if the person handing the gift over thinks there is, there's not. They're prepared to be disappointed. And I've had other people going, oh, well, I'm going to have to give it back. I'm like, yeah, you can. Absolutely, that is a solution. On the other hand, you got it, Tajinter. I won't read that one out loud, so it'll be a surprise.
What if your gift just happens to be attached to your body already?
Are you going to take it back afterwards?
Well, yeah.
More of a loan then, really.
It doesn't matter. Everyone's happy in the end.
Well, unless you go from the other side. Elizabeth, you look like you're researching something.
Silence.
I am. I'm just looking up. I'm just, you know.
Do you see her look at you, Andrea?
Oh,
We're looking at. You were talking about gifts, so I thought, oh, I want to look something up. And blah, 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 blah. They have. It's a little outfit for a baby, but it's Yoda, so you can make your baby Yoda.
That'll fit our cats, just so you know. Andrea, what's the good cat size for baby clothes?
a medium.
Is it
I like
2T?
your cats liking me. They outnumber me. I don't ever want to do anything that upsets them.
It's just flirting.
Harry will let me dress him. I have a little suit I put on him.
Really? That's awesome. How
Have
long?
you
Build a
tried to
bear.
put any clothes on Steve?
Yes. We have pictures.
Yeah. But he's still small for a lot of the stuff we have.
He has worn ties, he has worn bat wings, he has worn a couple different things. It's
Yeah.
Tajinter says, I
The
share
wings
my...
are funny. He tries to chase him when he's wearing them.
I gotta get a tie in Jakey. He'd look so dapper. I'm gonna take a
Tajinter,
shirt, just cut the collar off, and then just sit in it.
Tajinter says, I share my homemade cider with my lead officers when we get through a rough patch. I've had exactly one person that got the wrong message from it.
Yeah.
Was it because of the roofies you put in it?
Because he had to untie his hands first.
Maybe it was the prettiest girl he ever saw sipping cider through a straw.
That sounds like a song.
Wait,
there,
hang on. She's for
There you go.
go.
Pussy pictures. Great.
Wearing ties. It's tied pussy.
Fancy pussy pictures.
Fabulous. Dapper kitties.
So, with flirting, I think the first thing is to measure your environment. Realizing the difference between being at your work, being at somebody else's work, or being in public, or being in a flirting environment such as a party. Good night, John. Drive safe, man.
Good night, John. Have a good one, bro.
And beyond that, realize your style and flirt to you. It's Chris, if you play well to awkward is an adorable way to flirt. You know, and that whole giving a compliment then backpedaling, why haven't I complimented you yesterday or any other time? that's a viable flirting technique.
See, usually it's when I'm at work in a work environment and someone has dressed up more than they would normally dress up. And yes, I have had several coworkers get defensive. I'm like, no, you look nice today.
It's
Look like shit yesterday? Is that what you're telling me?
Well,
Yeah.
yeah.
the way to alleviate that,
Not
Chris.
shit,
is-
just
Chris, the way to alleviate that is specifically pick out one feature. That's a really awesome tie, or that suit looks great, or that dress is amazing. You know, picking out, instead of saying you pick out an item. Elizabeth, I know you had something to say.
Wait, does your dress have pockets?
Okay,
The
no,
other thing-
chicks appreciate that compliment.
I was in a show I watched. Guy comes up chatting with these two people, and she turns around. I've asked you to remove your hands out of your pockets when we talk. Okay. However, on the other end of the spectrum, when I'm at work, I'm at work. And if you want to flirt with me, then maybe say, "Hey, can I talk to you after work?" Or can we have a cup of coffee during break? And then you can flirt with me or give it a shot. But when we're at work, it's tricky. But I think you should be allowed to say, "You look very smart today," or "I really like that outfit." And then you should just be gracious and say thank you and move on. It doesn't have to mean anything. I agree with both sides. So
Yeah, I think
there's nothing worse though when you have a creep that won't leave me alone, and then you gotta go to work and deal with a creep every day. You do everything right, Andrew?
and that describes
Right, Travis?
Elizabeth
Right,
and my
Ed?
environment
Right, Chris?
when we're
We've
streaming
all had
together.
that. So I'm sorry. What? Go ahead.
And that describes Elizabeth's and my environment when we're working together streaming.
I'm the creep that won't leave you alone.
Oh, I was going the other way, but I like it your way too.
They're both creeps, and they won't leave each other alone.
Tune in Friday night.
She disappeared.
No, I'm trying to get my Snap camera thing to work.
But I think a lot of it is so hard right now, and it's so everyone's trying or I hope everyone's trying. It's just so confusing and demanding right now. Give people a break. Just say thank you. Be gracious. I have foot in the mouth disease. I should say the wrong thing because the brain is going faster than the mouth, and then the filter that maybe you shouldn't say that gets bypassed. And then I got to talk to HR.
And then I flirt with them.
Hi, Elizabeth. Hi, Janice. Good to see you again. Look, I made cookies.
Tejinter said, adorkable is a style. And Tejinter also said, I actually had a business plan called Just Pockets, and it would just put pockets on clothing. I got turned down for the loan. This is a viable business plan, guys and gals. It is something I've talked about, Andrea. If we are rich and looking to invest, I'm going to start a clothing line for women called It Has Pockets. And it will be just well made.
And not these little pockets.
Yeah, no, the real size pockets that you can actually put a whole hand into.
Yeah, you can.
And
Your
not
hand and someone else's.
Yeah, well, then I'm the government. But yeah, it's
I remember I still have some of my dresses from late 80s, early 90s, and they still fit, and I can still breathe in them. And they did have pockets, and they're nice. They're nice dresses.
That's style.
Yeah, and then something happened. Then everything had to become skin tight.
That's hard to find jeans.
Yeah.
Not from what I hear. I hear you found fabulous jeans.
Yeah, I did.
one pair after decades of searching.
It's a start. It's a start.
It's like the next Indiana Jones movie. Indiana Jones and the jeans that fit some chick.
That's because there's only one batch made every decade, and it's the batch that it'll fit everyone perfectly in their sizes, and there's only 10,000 made, and that's it, and that's the end of it, never to be seen or heard from again.
Or so legend says.
I had a pair like that 10 years ago. Oh, they were lovely.
Yeah, I ripped the back pocket off of my favorite pair of jeans.
Oh.
It happens a lot, actually. Like, I lose most of my pants because I keep a wrench in my back pocket while I'm working, and it gets caught on things and then rips the entire back pocket off.
You think you'd have like a little, not a fanny pack, but like a little fake tool belt, like a little fabric tool belt or something you could wear.
I have a pouch that I keep other tools in, but I don't wear it enough. It's easy just to grab the wrench off my desk and go do what I need to and stick it in my pocket.
We'll classify that as the lesson you refuse to learn.
Well, this is when that lung would come in handy for pocket. So it can make you a new pocket.
I'm not allowed to put anything in my back pocket. Teresa forbids me.
Because it ruins the view.
Mhm.
I saw that one
Baby
coming.
Ed got back.
No, true story.
Sugar buns. All right.
Ginger says worse.
I know what you mean, Chris, because I go out and do all that yard work. I'll put like things in my back pocket, and I always hear that voice like, "Don't do that. You're gonna cut a hole in your butt."
I had that happen
Oh, it'll be
last week.
fine.
Well, like, it'd be fine if it just ripped the pocket off, but that's the thing. It's like all the way through both layers, just coming right on off.
Couple comments from Tajinder says worst thing is guys' pants are getting smaller pockets. I'll go to war over pockets if they keep shrinking them. Then he says restitch the pocket with deep sea fishing line. I learned that trick long ago. So Chris,
Yes, but it's hard when the fabric is no longer fabric around the edge of the pot. Like, it's
you do it when you buy it. Before the
Just
fabric
stitch
is
it right to your butt.
see, I don't know that would really help.
I say just wear overalls. You got pockets everywhere.
it's
I have a vest, like a fishing vest, that has pockets all over it. That's what I wear a lot when I'm working. But I know you get hot because I know you're rocking and rolling. So
or
You
leather
wear your tool belt, show your butt crack.
or leather Ren Fair pouches on your regular belt with your jeans. I've done that before to carry tools around.
See, again, the way it'd be fine if I'm going to be like up in the grid working on lights all day. Yes, I will put on the tool pouch with all of the things. But if I'm just running back and forth from sitting at my desk to going upstairs to do something to then go back and forth, I'm not going to put that on every time.
If I could, I'd wear a belt like Batman with all those fucking pouches on it every day.
my buddy he got one for me too. It's so cute. It's a little like a zip line thing. You put the end on a pencil, right, and it hangs from your collar. So then you can just always have a little pencil when you're doing carpentry. Like, we need to get like a wrench one. It attaches to your belt.
They have
Well,
them
that's
for
the thing.
lighters.
That's why it gets ripped off, is because it's attached to my waist. Like, I loop it through a belt loop on a piece of string, so that if I drop it while I'm walking around 30 feet in the air, I'm not going to drop a
Right.
wrench on someone's head.
Man.
And that loop will get caught on things and pull the wrench away from my butt and then off of the pocket.
You know what you need? You just need
Pocket. A magnet?
a magnet belt and just stick it.
Andrew, do you want to read Tajinter's latest comment?
Yes.
Okay. Well, that's what gave me the idea. It says, or have a carry vest with magnet line. This will hyper murder your phone. Don't carry that with you. Oh yeah. But I'm thinking, no, we just need a belt, a giant magnet belt.
Yeah, I don't carry my phone in the grid with me anymore. I dropped it the 30 feet once. It didn't end well.
So,
Scary.
let's see. What else can we talk about with flirting here?
It is past the hour. I'm going to run to the bathroom.
Yep. Everybody,
Fine.
please, anytime during the show, feel free to mute yourself and go take care of refills or the opposite of a refill. It's Ed, have you
Yes.
ever had a woman flirt with you where you were just like slowly backing away because of her technique?
Yes.
Is that a story you can
Was
relate?
it me?
All right, we were camping. That we were going to share this, but
You know how bears
Yeah,
scratch
the
your back
story,
on a
right?
tree? Well, they don't wear clothes either when they do it.
Therese is a good shot, let me tell you.
Crazy Karen, says Tajinter. I remember I had one buddy who was being stalked by a woman. And he was commenting how crazy it was, how she'd like wait in the parking lot, and they weren't dating or anything. He didn't really know her. And he's like, that's creepy. It's scary because you just don't know. And I'm like, and that's how a lot of women feel all the time.
Mm.
So keep that in mind, because if we can make people aware of how people can be uncomfortable with it, that all goes back to gauging how and where and when you're going to flirt. There are ways to flirt with no romantic. See, Elizabeth, you mentioned at work, don't flirt with me at work. There is a difference between romantic interest or sexual interest flirting and just using words to make somebody feel better or get them to smile and laugh. And by the way,
Absolutely.
never a good line. You look so much better when you smile. Why don't you smile more? Don't do that.
No, don't do that.
Though actually, if somebody said that to me, I'd be okay with it, which doesn't mean most other people wouldn't, because it is an overused, creepy line that basically goes, you look like shit, why don't you make me happy?
Or the other one is, wow, you've lost a lot of weight. You used to be really fat. You look good now. Hey, would you like to go out? That's not going to work.
I just lost all the ugly pounds. Why would I want you?
Well, the better way to put Travis's line is would be a, wow, I don't think I've ever seen you smile before. It's really incredible.
Well, if you catch them when they're smiling, to go, you have a great smile. And I've done that at work just today alone, where I took a badge photo and somebody smiled, and I'm like, that is a great smile. Hold on just a second. That lets
Headshot.
Yeah, well, that's what I'm doing. And I'm taking a picture for their badge. So that is an appropriate time to say, you've got a good smile, without it meaning anything else, especially when I turn back to ignoring them and typing in their ID number, because I'm not staring at them going, your turn. That's another thing. Don't compliment to get a compliment. There we go. A couple comments. Tajinder saying, ma'am, please put the pool cue down. Kennedy saying, the women I know feel uncomfortable all the time. It comes with knowing you, Kennedy. It's a gift. Tajinder says, deep throating a pickle at work will likely get you sent to HR. Yeah, especially if you're in the HR doing that, to go, all I did was this. Never a good
Or
sign.
asking someone if they want your pickle. I got in trouble for that because the deli across the street always puts a pickle with your lunch. I dislike pickles to an immense degree, as we all know. And I have asked my coworkers, hey, do you want my pickle? And another coworker from not our department heard that and took it the wrong way and went to HR. And I was like, no, we all know Chris hates pickles. Like,
See,
there was one in my lunch that I clearly wasn't going to eat, to a coworker that I asked if they want my pickle on a regular basis.
So you weren't even saying that to this person.
No.
This person overheard it.
It
The
was
original
a
person
secondary.
directed at wasn't offended or infringed upon.
Yeah,
Wow.
third party offense. Yeah.
They said no. The person I was offering it to said no, because they had just eaten lunch themselves and did not want the pickle. Great, but like on a regular basis, she wants the pickle.
Chris and I would make a perfect couple. We'd make a perfect, even if it was a working couple. I always take his pickle. He can have my booze. See, it's perfect. It's perfect.
Did you say booze or boobs?
Either one.
Potato, potato.
I can't see her giving up her booze.
I give up my booze anytime.
She does share, yeah.
That's just wrong. I find that woman offensive. Can you report her to the HR for me? Offended by
Fourth
her
party offense. Tajinter says, I can't eat pickles. They have the same consistency of worms when you crunch them, which gives me weird looks when I explain that to people. Which, by the way, I totally believe, knowing a bit about Tajinter's background, that he has possibly eaten worms at some point in time for survival's sake.
They're good.
Worms are? Or pickles? Okay.
Both.
I've never...
Pickled worms are even better.
I'd hate to pull a pickle out of a jar and have it all wormy. That reminds me of my cat's
protein.
butt. What? Yeah, it is protein.
It's protein. I mean, I'm not going to start pickling worms, but, it's protein.
Yeah, it's protein.
I'm sure the Asians have. I am sure there's a snack somewhere, straight from China, that is pickled worms.
I was thinking, I'm sure there's women in the world that would rather have a worm in their mouth than a penis. But,
True.
who am I to judge?
Tequila. What was the tequila back in the day that had the worm in the bottle?
After Poltergeist, too? I don't know, man. That tequila. You remember the worm and that one?
Oh, good times.
You remember that Rick and Morty, the space worm coming out of Morty's mouth? Okay.
I wish I can get mine to work. It won't work.
Patience, young Padawan.
Stroke it.
Wrong thing.
Oh.
Huh?
I'm looking up cat trees. We want to put a cat tree in the back in the plant room for the kitties. But some of them have really small shelving on top. I don't want my big old 16-pound kitty falling off.
Chewy.com.
Well,
Yeah, I know. I sent my mom there, and she couldn't find one she liked.
well, the one like we got, you've seen Giraffe. He's a big boy. It works, and he likes to run and jump up there and swing on the pole and.
Wait for dollars.
And then turn around and be upside down with his legs in the air. I think he was a stripper in a former life. I don't know.
So I got a question here real quick for Tajinter. Military background, Travis? Yes, no, yes?
Yes, but also he left South Korea as a teen on his own and went through North Korea and ended up in France, if I'm not mistaken, and then the U.S. And maybe Russia at some point. So he basically has one of those, from the sound of it, there'll be a movie about his life at some point in time. And it'll end with him in a pool room with an 80-year-old woman. 2-hour build up to that punchline. There we go.
What a payoff.
But I have no doubt at some point in time in his early journeys, he was desperate for nutrition, and you do what you have to do.
Yeah.
That's right.
Because anybody that's ever been through SEER training has eaten worms.
Really? And what is SEER training?
Survival, evasion, rescue, and escape.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. What?
I've eaten worms before.
China to Russia.
Tajinter clarified, through China to Russia, hid at the French embassy as I got my American citizenship. So there's the clarification. So, yeah, it's... And also, that's another thing. You got to realize, flirting in different countries, we're talking mostly about U.S. flirting, but in Europe, you can say things on a regular basis that you can't necessarily say here. And then in Russia and China, it is a lot more stringent than what we have here, let alone some of...
India.
Yeah. Yeah, once the... What's the word I'm looking for? The sex divide, where, women are treated as a separate class of citizen. Flirting is not the same situation. And I have not lived there, so I can't speak with authority on any of this. It's just from what I've experienced from my friends that have lived in those places or migrated from those places. Yeah, it's a different situation. So don't do your American flirting in the wrong country. It could be problematic.
That's why I don't travel abroad. I just travel on broads.
I was just gonna say something like that.
I beat you to it. I knew you were working on it.
You saw my lips quiver. Oh, here it goes. Here it goes.
Yeah, Tajintra says, when Russia is the best option for freedom, things are pretty, you're in a pretty rough spot. So that's true. Okay, do we have anything else about flirting?
Do it responsibly.
It's true. And also make
I'm
sure-
usually oblivious to it until well after the fact and go, oh, damn it. They were flirting with me.
I worked with a guy like that.
You're on a show with a couple guys like that. Andrea's always very amused when like the waitress or whoever will walk away and she's like, she was so flirting with you, and I am just oblivious to it.
That's funny.
I'm just being nice and saying stupid things like I do, and she's like, they were flirting. I'm like, it's Andrea also, after wearing her new clothes that she got and being asked to get in the guy's basket, she came home. She's like, I can't wait to see you in your new clothes and hear what the women say to you.
Put the lotion in the basket.
And then get in.
Say that run.
Tajinter
That's
says,
true.
flirting rule number 1, don't be creepy. If you saw it on a sitcom or anime, it's creepy. And if you need told not to be creepy, you might want to stop flirting altogether. Because if you don't realize what creepy is, you might not be ready for flirting. Another thing is, never flirt by comparing somebody to an ex or a parent. Just not good. And I've seen people do it.
Well, yeah, grandma or mother, you remind me of my grandma. You son of a bitch.
Put the pool cue down.
She's dead now.
Put the pool cue down, stepped away from the ginger.
Oh, I love to flirt though. It's if you're in the right environment, and let's say we are, which we are in the tavern. It's so much fun to say stuff that makes somebody laugh or feel good about themselves when they know there's no further expectation. Sometimes perhaps a disappointment when there's no further expectation, because they're like, this person makes me feel good, I want to be around them more, and they're like, why are they walking away now? Okay.
See, thinking about like the sitcom flirts, I think the only one that I can reliably use is the Joey Tribbiani, how you doing?
How you doing?
Yeah, that's fun.
Because that always gets a chuckle, like regardless from whoever it is. Like, it's not really meant to be a serious flirt. It's just a, how you doing?
There's a little girl that works in our office now in administration. I won't say her name, but she has talked to several people in the field and they get her name wrong. One guy called back and said, this Kathy person called me. Another person called back and said, this Whitney person called me. Neither one of those is her real name. But she told me that Whitney is the fiery redhead. So whenever I talk to her now, I say, how's Whitney doing? Tell her Ed said, hey. So I can flirt third party and not really get in trouble because Whitney's doesn't really exist. So, yeah.
I heard Whitney's a real bitch.
That's why I like her.
Carry on. Be right back.
Carry on. Yeah. So then Travis told me.
He's going to tell Whitney right now.
Hello, Whitney. I don't know if it's flirting, but I always tend to know the people. I always know the people that can help me out. I know all the security guards, and I'll know like all the janitors and the cleaning staff or maintenance. I always know those people because they know how to get things done. They know how everything operates, and when shit hits the fan, they're the ones that can help. And they're usually like the most genuine. I mean, there's always a jerk or something, but you know.
That's everywhere.
It's true though, yeah. They're fun. They're the gate.
Tinder said, "Is Whitney drinking? Dang it! You know what happens when that happens." Yeah, Whitney does drink, but she don't do coke because coke is whack.
Crack is whack.
That's why they call him the whack monster. Or maybe
Is
not.
that what they call it that?
The whack monster.
That's whack.
Oh my god.
So, all right, I'm trying to get the kitties. I really want to get that kitty running wheel, that real big wheel that they can. Oh, I love the stash. Looking good, Chris.
Yeah, that wheel. I want one of those. I'm afraid the cats will hurt each other.
I understand. I'm afraid I won't put it together right, and then I'll hear through the house.
And then
Okay.
it's ka-thunk, 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 ka-thunk down the stairs.
Kennedy says, "If I said you had a nice body, would you hold it against me?" I know I said earlier, do not use lines, but I have used that one before. Just couldn't help myself in whatever that situation was, and I have used that one, and it has worked.
Did you sing it?
Yeah.
Oh, that might work. Ooh. 10 cats.
Yeah.
That was in response to Ginger saying, "Got my cat a running wheel. My cats only sleep on it. They refuse to run on it."
I went to the store. I went to Walmart last week and got just passing. And I thought, all right, I got those 2 35-pound buckets of kitty litter. And I walked it all the way to the front of the store carrying it. And then I was going out the door and they wanted to check my receipt. And I got a little agitated because I had just realized that's 70 pounds I'm carrying through the store. Your arms out. Oh, God. I thought I was in a Kung Fu movie. You must discipline yourself.
It wasn't so
I made
bad,
it to the.
but Elizabeth carried him with her arms straight out the whole time.
I did.
Social
Well, it was the
distancing.
keg between my legs.
What was between your legs?
I was running. A keg of beer.
Oh yeah, keg. Okay, it's much better than a
It
water.
was light beer, so it was okay. But
Oh,
I'm fine. I want to see like a circus person, like stand on the keg and roll it, and then carrying a bunch of stuff, maybe even juggling, like shoplifting, you know, Circus du Soleil style or something.
Like, who's gonna stop them?
Everyone takes pictures. It must be an act. Welcome back, Travis.
Well, thank you.
You missed Chris's mustache.
No, I saw it. I saw him stroking it, and Kennedy commented that he very much liked the way Chris is stroking that thing.
Oh, 70 pounds of kitty poop. Yep, sand. Jir says, how in God's name can an 8-pound cat produce 80 pounds of cat poop in a week?
You have to work hard
That
at it,
happens.
not by running on a wheel.
A lot of cat.
I like your eyes.
Kennedy says flirting in Walmart doesn't get better than that. I remember a great.
I'll just.
Hmm?
Oh, sorry.
No, please
Okay.
go.
No. I was just going to say, when a sign of diabetes is an increase in urination, and I'm going to tell you, It was impressive. He went through 35 pounds in 1 week. Kitty litter. It was unbelievable. This cat, I mean, I kept saying, is there a man sneaking in the house peeing in the cat boxes?
I didn't have to sneak. I just had to call ahead.
But
Travis and my mother are gaslighting me.
Take a turn in the litter.
The things she could do with a pool cue, it's amazing.
So I'm telling you what, man.
It's
life with the party.
it's there. Andrea and I do have a story about going to Walmart searching for a 6-foot cock and a hairy beaver. Yeah, it was great once the girl who was helping us find these things realized the joke behind it. But it took her a minute.
It took her a little bit of something when she realized it. Because, you know, they had the onesies and they had them on sale, so we were going to go get 6-foot cock and a beaver, you know, like you do. And she asked if she can help. And it's like, no, we're looking for, so what we're looking for. For a minute.
Yeah, it was actually as she was turning away to leave, and I had just said, yeah, you know, we just want to be able to dress as a 6-foot cock and a hairy beaver. And she had turned away after like spending 3 to 4 minutes with us, and then she stops and turns back, and she's like, "Oh!" I'm like, we're like, yeah, there you go, you got it now. And she was like heavily tattooed and pierced also, so you know it felt safe to throw these euphemisms around. But yeah, we all three of us enjoyed it.
But that's what's on the tag of the onesie. Bless you.
Oh, gesundheit.
It was
He's got the rhino.
Bless you.
Excuse me.
It was on the tag. It was like giant cock and hairy beaver or something. I think that was actually on the tag.
It wasn't easy
Anything
getting
wrong?
that Sharpie out and writing it on there without her seeing me.
Whatever. You know, it was up there.
Oh wow, Ed, you want to read that last comment?
Yes.
From to Ginter there.
Yeah, that's okay. Go ahead, Travis.
Heimdall, the guardian of Asgard, had an obsidian chicken. Yes, he had a godly black. Well, that explains why they cast Idris Elba in Thor, then, doesn't it? Wonder if they were playing to that joke. I don't remember Heimdall having an obsidian chicken. I don't remember that in the mythos that I researched.
Me neither. I'll take his word for it.
Well, I know Odin had all kinds of animals, and a lot of them had, you know, different animal servants or minions or whatever, so... I'm just wondering where an obsidian chicken came into the mythos. That sounds like drunken Vikings making shit up, and, you know, 700 years later, we're like, oh yeah, this was a thing. It was a godly black thing. So we got 25 minutes. It feels like we're out of flirting material. Unless anybody has a good story
I
about...
have stuff to talk about.
What's that, Andrew?
Not flirting. I have stuff I can talk about, just not flirting.
Oh, talk
It
about
might
it.
be, but...
Carry on. What do you got?
Okay. Well, Elizabeth, you were talking about 70 pounds of poop sand. Well, we have a lot of cats, so we go through a lot of that too. Now, I've discovered Arm & Hammer cat litter.
Mm-hmm.
If you, for every 2 you buy, you get a charm bracelet. A bracelet with a charm on it, and then you can collect them all. So, these are all you need to collect. We are getting several sets of these. So everybody's going to get a bracelet.
Well, between you and Chris, man, I'm gonna be set.
But it's
That's
nice,
really
so, I
sweet.
mean,
That's a neat idea. That's actually kind of cool. Or you could put them on your kitties, you know?
yeah, I mean, you could either get the bracelet with the charm, the Arm & Hammer charm on it, and then you could pick these other ones that they all attach. And I tried it. I'm like, okay, whatever. So you don't have no shipping, no nothing. You just have to upload your receipt where you mark which one it is, and so for every 2 you get one.
Nice.
It's like
Nice.
gift for purchase. There you go.
Oh, it's like old school. Remember the days you used to do that? You get somebody proof of purchase, so you get a little gift or
Yeah.
something.
That's why I like it.
And
So
it's so much better than them hiding it in the box itself and me later scooping it out of the cat box going, I got your next shitty little charm.
yeah, they had to change that. Now you have to think about for it.
Nice.
Let's see. Tajintra says Odin rode into battle on his adopted grandson, so let's not get too crazy. And Kennedy says Idris Elba. Now that's an attractive man, and add a British accent. And then Tajintra says you get a totem for your cat's defecation. This works much better than sacrificing virgins, but I'm not sure if that is as acceptable to the gods.
Yeah, whatever.
That'd be interesting. I'm going to sacrifice a goat to the gods. Mind you, I ate the goat first. So, yeah. It's just a matter of collecting it all afterwards. Then you put it in a paper bag, put it on somebody's porch, light it on fire, and ring the doorbell. Sacrifice.
Surprise!
I have never done anything like that. I just couldn't imagine putting flaming anything on, like, up in front of somebody's house, ever.
I mean, you have to put the poop in the bag and carry it. No. That's Chuck.
Okay, now that's an interesting concept, because do you poop straight into the bag, or do you get, like, the kitty litter scoop after you go to use the bathroom?
That's the big question, isn't it?
That is a true statement, Tajinter says. Warning, goats and peacocks scream. I've raised both and had the police called for both. So I remember when I first asked Andrea, do you know what sound a peacock makes? And we were driving down the road,
God.
and I was driving, and she's like, what? And I did a fairly reasonable peacock impersonation of the scream. Wow, she jumped so high. And then she's like, you got to do that to our kids.
Yeah, pretty much.
So I did, and every once in a while, I will just randomly peacock scream. Because, it's fun at parties.
Especially when they're not.
There's that noise too, but there's the... They do, and I won't do it full volume here because...
All the cats will run.
Well, that and, coming across the mic, hey, there's Jewel. Jewel says peacocks scream like a small child being murdered. Well, only if you take the tape off first.
I sent you the link, Elizabeth.
Uh-oh. I just remembered I had to order foam. I need to make more picklemen, so I gotta order foam online.
Don't forget the green glue.
Don't forget the green. Is that better than the adhesive spray? You really?
Oh, 100%.
All right.
It takes longer because you essentially paint you paint the two sides in the green glue and essentially let it dry till it's no longer tacky, then stick it together, and then you've got 24 to 48 hours of cure time. But once that happens, that shit ain't coming apart at that seam.
All right. That might be what I need because there's certain parts, especially where I'm working the mouth from behind, it tears real easily. Thanks,
Now,
Chris.
I'm not going to say it won't
What the hell
tear
were you getting into?
away on the other
Sounds like
side of the
flirting.
green glue, but
You really you want to get depressed, like you really want to, or just feel bad. Look up pickle costumes. It's the most pathetic thing you've ever seen. It just, oh. Every costume just looks sad. Like I don't know, just throw a sheet in the dye and there it's a pickle. It's just like, you wouldn't eat a pickle that looked like these costumes. So I gotta make a pickle.
Eat a pickle at all.
I know you won't. And I find that offensive. Do they have like the little joint that comes out, you know? Like,
No.
Something like the gangster when you're a real gangster. People who are listening to this are, what is going on?
Yeah.
So if you want to see what's going on and you're listening to it, go to Twitch TV/Travis Tavern Talk.
There you go. And to Ginter
Hey,
ever
Chris,
so...
if you have a... Oh, I'm sorry.
Go ahead, Elizabeth.
I was going to say, if I haven't bought a film in a long time, it's been years. If you have a link or someone you recommend, send it my way.
I don't know.
I'm buying it offline. I just buy...
Again, I haven't had to buy big sheets of foam, and usually when they do, it's, you know, someone in the scene shop is going to a manufacturer going, hey, we need, you know, several 4x8 sheets, you know, 6 inches thick of upholstery foam. So
I usually just order it in big columns off the internet, because that way they don't have to cut it or special measure it. But in New York, you could actually go down, way down to Canal Street, way on the very bottom of the island. And there's just tons of warehouses. Like, what do you need? What do you got? What are you making? All right, let's do this. Blah, blah, blah. I don't have that, but if we glue this and this, you'll have it. Oh, okay. Missed that. Off topic. Sorry, guys.
No, it's
Off
okay.
topic.
I'm trying to think if I can make a foam mascot for something in the tavern. And I'm like, what, a glass of beer? A foam glass of beer? You know, foam shot glass with a mustache? I don't know. We don't have...
I know Joanne Fabric sells big sheets, but I don't know if they'll ship big sheets.
No. You can order, and then I have like especially people that do custom cushioning and stuff, and they'll roll it up, and then when it unrolls, it's just a long column. It's like you can get real thick stuff.
Yeah.
It's awesome. It even stands up, and then you can fall on it. The ultimate pillow fight. Giant columns of foam.
To Ginter says, most people are not prepared for the first time they hear a peacock scream in the backwoods of Virginia. County Sheriff, we had some reports for this area. Peacock in the background. Gah! 16-year-old me. That's not what it sounds like. Oh, yeah, I grew up in Florida, and we had state parks or county parks that had peacocks running wild there. Which, by the way, if you have non-tame peacocks or even tame peacocks, be careful. Those fuckers can be mean. It's true. It's true. I think I have a peacock emote somewhere. It's hard to look through like the 300 emotes to find the one.
You should be able to do a search.
You can.
No?
You can, right up top, when you pull up your emotes.
Yeah.
But sometimes people name them weird
Crazy.
things instead of peacock.
Yep.
Because peacock isn't weird enough.
That happens.
It's, yeah. Okay. So let's see, what else we got here for our last 15 minutes. It's because we kind of finished up our whole flirting topic. Besides, I love to do it and don't be dumb.
We could ask each other which one has worked.
Being as oblivious as I am, I don't think any of mine have ever worked. Not because they didn't work, because I didn't realize they had any effect besides I was amused for a moment. Though apparently with Andrea, pointing out things and making bad puns is a great way to flirt. That's what we did the first day we met. We
Is that what I was?
sat together on a bench as she had a cigarette and I pointed at a truck going by with bales of hay and I'm like, "Hey!" And yeah, there was other things too. I don't even. What building was across the street, Andrea, that we made jokes about?
The Pointer Building or something.
That's right. I'm like, I guess that's when
Yeah.
I pointed at it and went, that building. That building.
Very nice.
Yeah. It's also
Yeah.
how I gauge people's intelligence. If they realize the wit behind a good pun, I'm like, all right, they're smart too. And if they're goofy enough.
I
to
love
put-
a good pun.
Uh-huh. Elizabeth does too. That's something I've enjoyed hanging out with her. It's some people. I think people get upset with puns because they don't realize there is a level of intelligence to come up with that twist on whatever you're working with there, and they get almost offended because they couldn't come up with it.
They don't get it.
Right. So they're just like, oh, that's stupid. It's like, your face is stupid. Which is pretty true.
Sometimes the joke is funnier when they don't get it.
It is. I've had some people like, it's not funny if you explain it. I'm like, oh no, it's really funny, especially if you do it
no,
slow like
oh,
they're a
no.
3-year-old. It amuses the hell out of me. Kitty, kitty, kitty.
I just appreciate even the effort, The one thing I've been cursed with, though, is I always seem to get that one. I have a friend. I'll get a friend, and they're just not good at telling jokes. And not good to where it's so bad it's funny. Like, not good. We're working together at a store, and I'll tell a customer I know a joke. A little, short one. Ha, ha, ha. And then he has to come in and start telling very rude, inappropriate jokes that aren't funny, that are very long, and start cutting into my sales. Oh. Like really rude, like army jokes, Ed. Like army jokes. Ed's reading. He's not paying attention.
What's wrong with army jokes?
In a store when I'm selling products. Late in the evening when we've had enough beer, we can barely keep our eyes open. Okay, our drink, okay.
Right. Or at the tavern. Yeah. But not at work.
Yeah.
Tajintra says,
Not at work.
speaking of pillow fights, random fact. Up until 1998, the largest pie fight in history was produced for the 1965 movie The Great Race. And is still the longest pie fight in movie history, and pie fights now require hazard pay due to that scene. I don't know why those two are related. Too much gin, I suspect.
Mm.
And I think
I
that
suspect it's because when people smack you in the face with a pie, they tend to hang on to the pie, and then you're getting a palm right into your nose, and it's easy to break a nose that way.
I'll keep that in mind if I ever get mugged. Hold on. Hold on. Almost there. Need a second can. Almost there.
It helps if you put a brick in the middle of the pie before you add the whipped cream.
That's true. You need less whipped cream that way. That's a good point. It's, I think that was in relation to Kennedy's comment of that's the reason they call it goosing.
Goose.
Which I don't know what that
It's a
comment
good
is.
beer. It's a good type of beer. Goose.
It is. It is. It's So after this, I get to go shower and then drive to a brand new Amazon building opening. Their first shift starts at 1:20 a.m. And I get to be there for that. What, Chris?
I'm sorry.
Oh no, I volunteered. Because the three of us from the staffing department, it's myself, I'm a lowly grunt, and then like the regional manager, and then my manager that covers like 6 or 8 different buildings that we hire for. So I'm like, so I get to see a whole new Amazon facility, be there, get a half day off on each side of it.
Oh, okay.
What?
Amazon building opening. I'm sorry, I just heard Amazon opening. I was like, what's the problem with that? Sounds like fun.
It's Ed has opened a couple Amazons in his time.
Yeah.
Yeah, I've seen his picture at the meetings.
It's got the pros and cons list below it. First
Awful
con,
complimentary.
first pro is not a con. And the second one is also not a con. Just for the double meaning. Let me
But
explain.
all pro.
That's right. It's Kennedy, that is, and the fun part is it's over an hour drive for me one way. So I will be leaving here. Let's see, they want me there about 12:30, about an hour before opening, and so I'll leave here about 11:30. So, yeah.
Where is it?
Chester, near Richmond. It's
Nice.
I can give an exact address, but I don't want half the audience showing up there. This is not the hiring event.
Ah! What did you say, Andrea?
If it's a bad hour, nobody will show up.
I don't know, man.
It is fun at
You know,
work.
you-
In the beginning of the week, like Mondays are always busier, and these are the people that actually want a job, and most of them actually complete all the stuff they need to do to move forward, like, their application online. Whereas as you go further into week, like Friday, like more than half the people haven't finished their stuff. You feel like these are people that somebody in their house went, no, you will go out there and do this, and you will go now.
Mm-hmm.
Here's something from Tijenter. When we first took over storage of military contracts, I was one of only 7 people on the eastern seaboard that were actually qualified to control the facility. It took nearly 3 months to get people trained up enough to actually be able to do the job. Oh, okay, here we go. Unrelated topic. Opinions on the new baby name for, who was it? Elon Musk? Is that whose baby that is?
Yes.
Yeah. And I don't know
I
how to...
saw somewhere on how you're supposed to pronounce it. I didn't even bother to try.
Zaius?
Oh, that's the name.
Would it be Zaius?
No, I don't know how to actually pronounce it. So
Well, let me copy it and we will go Google how to say
Dude.
it. No, Ed. No.
I know.
There we go.
I didn't even know he was pregnant.
His son's name is pronounced X-A12. The X is just X, and the A12 is just A12. So, X-A12.
That's a good name. That's a good name for a clone.
Wow.
What happened to 10 and 11?
They're
Okay.
not done cooking.
It says, what does the baby's name mean? X, the unknown variable. The AE is Elven spelling of AI, and which resembles the Chinese word of love. And of course, AI, artificial intelligence. What the hell?
And A12 is the precursor to the SR-17, which is their favorite aircraft. And this is coming from 2 people named Musk and Grimes. I wonder if the
Sounds like
kid.
I need a shout.
I wonder if the kid is going to have a hyphenated last name. Wouldn't that be great?
The kid's gonna get his ass kicked a lot. That's what's gonna happen with the kid.
Yep.
Oh, he's going on May 4th. Okay. I don't keep up with this. Interesting.
So Ginger says, "Nah, that's nah, not nah, dash, I know that English isn't my first language, but to hell with that. Translation, we don't know who you are, and we're pretty sure you're a fake. So,
Yep.
yeah, it's, did Elon really need more attention that he had to do this?
He always needs more attention.
SR71. Okay, so let's wrap this up. Any closing thoughts on the topics? We can just go around. Ed, Flirting 101.
Just do it.
Chris,
Don't be creepy.
Andrea,
Leave me alone.
Oh, come on, baby. You know you want it.
Not you it.
Elizabeth,
Be honest with your intention.
yep. And like I said,
Travis.
measure your tone and the who, where, and why, as Elizabeth said, with your intention. Know your audience before you try to play your audience, and make
Yeah.
it clear what you're trying to sell, what you're trying to deliver. As Elizabeth says with movies, it gave what it promised. Figure out what you promised and make that intention clear ahead of time. So,
And I think one more, if I may. And when you're receiving, just be kind. Just give people a little room and be open. Say, I'm not interested. Goodbye. Done. Or I am interested. Hello.
see, and that's why I say make your intention clear, because I'm never interested in anything except, let's say, funny shit. It's
Why,
Okay.
hello.
Now we have Tajinter with his closing thoughts. Naa is actually a name that parents demand is said Nadasha, like Natasha, but with a D. Then Tajinter also says, don't be a creeper. And also, bathing is recommended before flirting. There we go. All good advice. It's a hell of a show. Let's play some outro music. Good night, everybody. Thank you. Up. If you heard it on a
Good night,
sitcom,
everybody.
it is creepy. Good night, everybody. Where's my outro music? There it is.
Thanks for joining us in the discussion shenanigans tonight.
Oh,
You're the
closing
one thing
toast.
that makes the show what it is. Don't forget
Too
to
late.
join us at the Tavern next week.
Never too late.
Until then, have fun. Keep
More
learning,
not what you've
and be
lost,
good
rather
to one
rejoice what you retain.
Now, raise your glass in good cheer. Enjoy the small moments every day and steamy dreams every night.
It says goodnight to Ginter. Good night, Gary. Good night, Jewel and everyone else.
Good night, John Boy.
Good night, Mary Beth.
Good night, Chopper. Good night, Elizabeth.